Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review The Boy. Every child needs to feel loved.
Directed by William Brent Bell, starring Rupert Evans and Lauren Cohan, The Boy is about an American nanny who's going across the pond to escape a dark past and look after a child. Or so she thinks. The child is actually a doll named Brahms. Now, what do we like?
Visually, this film was beautiful. It had excellent cinematography, it had excellent lighting. Just the overall aesthetics of this film really created a creepy atmosphere, especially because the house itself just looked possessed, looked haunted.
You've got 20-foot ceilings and just like 4 floors. It's like a castle and it's fucking creepy. Like you said, the way that it's lit is just perfect because it's like all these old wooden, like ornate kind of railings and wood things on wood paneling. There's a lot of textures, so the light really like bounces and creates these deep shadows. Once they like want to create a different atmosphere, they just light it the same hallway a different way and it looks completely creepy. And this is kind of how they played with Brahms, the doll, looking happy and portraying emotion sometimes, and then seeming very devious.
Because you're seeing like more shadows under his eyes, you're seeing shadows like under his chin, and it creates a more like creepy feel.
Brahms was so fucking creepy. That's what kind of built up this whole movie, because we're here to see a crazy doll, and we got it. The doll will scare you, and it creates this whole tense atmosphere throughout the whole movie, so it is genuinely scary because you never know what's going to happen with this Brahms fella.
Just to go back to the cinematography and how it was shot, they played to the depth of their location. They used a lot of background shots to play tricks and build tension, because we have something going in the foreground with the nanny. Meanwhile, behind her, we just got Brahms being a little creep, and he's just staring at her, or at sometimes past her and at you. And that's what makes it creepy, is you're locking eyes with this little doll and he's doing nothing but staring at you.
It makes you feel really uncomfortable. I was pretty excited for this movie, even though like I knew it was gonna be all jump scares and stuff, which it actually wasn't. For the most part, they're genuine scares, but Lauren Cohan, she's basically the only person in this movie other than Rupert Evans who he kind of delivers groceries to the house once a week. It was really neat to see her character kind of develop. She comes to this house, doesn't believe that this doll's possessed. Slowly, she starts to question, is she going crazy? Or is this doll possessed? And is it moving things around the house and all this stuff? You know, she killed her role. I fucking love Maggie. And she's a babe too. She's a total babe.
I felt that the story was well executed in the sense that it keeps the audience guessing to the very end as to what actually is Brahms. Is it a spirit? Is it a doll that's moving around? Or is it just a completely different entity? It's nice because from the beginning right to the final act, you don't know. And it's gonna have you on the edge of your seat because stuff is going down and you don't see it through the entire film until the last act.
Now it's time for our dislikes. You kind of figure everything out towards the end of the film, but it's not gonna necessarily be what you want it to be. I'm not gonna spoil it at all, and I'm sure this was meant to be a twist, but if you guess what the ending is and you think you got it, you probably have it. I guess the ending 5 minutes into the movie. And that was a little bit upsetting, but if you don't guess it, I think you'll probably like it, but I just don't know.
It's just not what you think it's gonna be.
A lot of this movie's very, very serious, so it might be cheesy to you at the end. Considering there's only a handful of people, if that, in the movie, the only person that actually did a really good job was Lauren Cohan. And it's unfortunate. I really didn't believe the other characters that come into play. I didn't think that Rupert Evans did a great job. He's just trying to be this charming guy, and he came off like incredibly fake and as cliche as they come. Lauren wasn't biting, and neither was I. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. The Boy was a better movie than I thought it was going to be. It was extremely creepy because of the atmosphere that they were able to create with such an amazing location and their use of cinematography and lighting. Lighting Brahms the way that they did and lighting the whole environment the way that they did keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout the entire movie. up until the last act. And the final act is actually what brought this down almost a whole point because I really didn't like the ending. However, some people might love it. It's just not for me. So I'm gonna give this 3.5 creepy Brahms out of 5.
In modern horror, we don't really get to see a lot of the doll subgenre. I mean, we got Annabelle, and that wasn't that good. So it's nice to see we're getting a fresh attempt at this subgenre because Brahms is absolutely creepy. Overall, this film really had a nice psychological twist to it. The acting was very well delivered, and this film really had some great moments in it. Though overall, I feel majority of the people are going to be disappointed in the direction that this film was going because, like Jay, I was disappointed with the final act. So with that being said, I'm going to give this film 3 little doll tears out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on The Boy. And if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out, it's in theaters. So go watch it. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our reactions, reviews, games of what would you do, top 10 lists, and all types of stuff. Horror related stuff.